If you think that Götze's substitution to score the World Cup winning goal was crazy, it was only one of the 11 substitutions that completely changed football history.
What a super substitution that's turned out to be!
Let's go in chronological order, starting with a substitution that changed the course of the UEFA Euro. In 1996, Germany reached the Euro's final, setting up an unexpected clash against the Czech Republic. The Germans were the favorites, but reality hit fast. In the 59th minute, the Czechs scored the opener. Germany was on the brink of losing the title, so with just 20 minutes left, the German manager took off the number 8 to bring on Oliver Bierhoff, a player who was only in his 10th match for the national team, having been a substitute throughout the entire tournament. But just 3 minutes after Bierhoff came onto the pitch,
Ziege curling it in. Oh, and a very good goal indeed.
the substitution paid off. But his story wasn't over yet. The match went into extra time, where it had the golden goal rule. Whoever scored would be crowned champions of Europe. Until
Off is there. Can he turn? Can he find somebody else? Can he get a shot himself? It's in!
Bierhoff turned the game around, giving Germany the UEFA Euro. But if that was crazy, 3 years later, a substitution changed the history of another European tournament. For the first time in 30 years, Man United reached the Champions League final, facing Bayern Munich. But things didn't start well for the English side. Bayern scored an early goal, while United couldn't find the equalizer. Then in the 67th minute, Ferguson brought on Teddy Sheringham, who had played only 100 minutes in their entire campaign. Then, by the 81st minute, Ferguson put on Solskjaer, a player who hadn't played in any match at the knockout stage. The title seemed destined for Bayern, until the 90th minute, when United fans were losing hope.
In towards Schmeichel, it's come for Dwight York. Cleared, Giggs with a shot, Sheringham! Teddy Sheringham!
Sheringham scored his first goal in that Champions League season, but the match was still heading into extra time, until just 1 minute later,
Beckham, into Sheringham, and Solskjaer has won it! The two substitutes have scored the 2 goals in stoppage time.
the substitutes made a comeback in the added time. But even better than saving your club is saving your entire country from a runner-up finish. And that's exactly what Trezeguet did. In 2000, another season of the UEFA Euro took place, where France reached the final to face Italy. But it looked like the title was going to the Italians. They scored the opener, while France couldn't find the equalizer. Then, in the 58th and 76th minutes, the coach brought on Wiltord and Trezeguet. Still, the title seemed secured for Italy, as the match went into stoppage time with them in the lead, until Wiltord, who came off the bench, showed up.
Wiltord.
He scored the equalizer. Now the game went to extra time, having the famous golden goal rule, and it was in the extra time that the ball fell to Trezeguet.
Centre en retrait.
Both substitutions changed the course of that final, giving France the UEFA Euro. But it's not just a substitution of a forward that can change the history of a tournament. Fast forward 14 years, we arrive at the 2014 World Cup, where the Netherlands, the reigning World Cup runners-up, faced Costa Rica in the quarterfinals, in a match that ended goalless, so the semi-final spot would be decided on penalties. Then the manager made an unexpected substitution.
Wow, what a change! Clearly, the Dutch believed that Krul...
It was never heard of a keeper coming in just for the penalties, but the coach had prepared Krul for this exact moment. He studied their penalties, came on to intimidate the players and trash-talk them. That raised the pressure on Costa Rica, even more when on the first penalty he almost saved it, until the second one came.
Tim Krul will watch and bounce, and here comes Ruiz, and Krul gets down and saves it this time!
With that save, the Netherlands had an advantage. Then in the final penalty,
The Dutch go through. Here's a moment. It's Amana who steps up. Oh, and Krul has saved it! It's Krul for the Dutch! It's Kruller for Costa Rica!
Krul made 2 saves to send the Netherlands to the semi-finals. But if there's one substitution that completely changed the course of that World Cup, it was one that happened in the grand final.
Germany and Argentina, perhaps planet football's greatest intercontinental rivalry.
Messi's Argentina faced Germany, a team that had just destroyed Brazil 7-1. Even so, neither side could find the net. As time went on, the match stayed 0-0. Then in the 88th minute, the coach made a weird substitution. Even though they had to score, he took off Miroslav Klose, the all-time World Cup top scorer, putting in his place the 22-year-old Götze. Initially, it didn't have an impact. The match looked destined for penalties, until in extra time, that small substitution changed history.
Aimed in for Götze! Mario Götze for Germany!
In less than 15 minutes on the pitch, the substitute scored a winning goal for Germany, becoming a completely unexpected hero. But if a player coming off the bench to score the winning goal of a major tournament is something rare, just 2 years later, it happened again. A movie-worthy script that would play out once more, this time in the final of the UEFA Euro. The match was France, the hosts, against the underdogs Portugal. That game, Ronaldo went off injured, so France kept creating dangerous chances, but it remained 0-0. Then in the 79th minute, with Renato Sanchez picking up an injury, the coach brought on Eder. Even though he wore the number 9 shirt, he was far from being a regular starter. He had played only 13 minutes in the entire tournament. No one expected much from him. Everyone was waiting for a penalty shootout. But then, in the second half of extra time,
wriggles free of Koscielny. Eder shot! Super strike! Eder smashes Portugal!
with a completely unexpected long-range goal, Eder delivered Portugal their first ever major title, leaving the French with a runner-up finish in their own stadium. That was crazy. But when we talk about last-minute goals, one of the first things that comes to mind is a match that happened in the following year, 2017. As you well know, in the Champions League round of 16, PSG faced Barcelona, stunning them with a 4-0 victory. So for the second leg, Barcelona needed a miracle, and they started working on it, scoring the first, the second, and the third. But then PSG scored. Now, because of the away goals rule, Barcelona needed 3 more goals, and that's when a small substitution happened.
El futbolista de Reus para intentar darle un poquito de aire en este último cuarto de la final del partido.
Sergio Roberto came onto the pitch with less than 20 minutes left in the game. Then, in the 88th minute, Neymar scored a free kick, and at 90+1, he converted a penalty. The aggregate was 5-5, but due to the away goals rule, Barcelona were still going out. They needed 1 more. But it was when the substitution made 18 minutes earlier changed history.
Neymar chips it forward and Sergio Roberto! It's done it! Can you believe this?
With a goal in the last minute, Sergio Roberto turned the game around. He came off the bench to seal one of the most historic comebacks ever. But if a substitute helped Barcelona to qualify, 2 years later, a substitute helped to eliminate them. In 2019, Barcelona reached the Champions League semi-final. Then in the first leg against Liverpool, they won 3-0. The Reds needed a true miracle to qualify. So in the first half of the second leg, the English side managed to pull one back, but they weren't able to do much else. Until for the second half, Klopp took off Robertson, who had picked up an injury, to bring on Wijnaldum. The Liverpool fans had no idea, but that injury that forced Robertson out to bring Wijnaldum on would completely change the course of that Champions League, because in just 8 minutes...
Rice on his way into the middle, so is Wijnaldum! Oh, it's in! Off the bench, he scored!
Liverpool pulled one back, but still needed 1 more to level the tie. Then, in literally 2 minutes...
Wijnaldum! Oh, it's 3! Liverpool are all the way back! Gini Wijnaldum, the Champions League hero!
In less than 15 minutes, Wijnaldum tied the aggregate. Then all it took was 1 more goal from Origi to seal the historic comeback. But if Barcelona both made and suffered comebacks because of substitutes, their rivals Real Madrid also achieved something no one thought was possible, thanks to a substitute. 3 years later, in the 2022 Champions League, Real Madrid reached the semi-final to face Man City, considered the best team in the world at the time. City had just won the first leg by 1 goal difference, and when the second leg took place, Real Madrid just couldn't score. Then in the 68th minute, Ancelotti took off Kroos to bring on Rodrigo. A bold change that at first seemed like a disaster, cause right after, City scored again. They were set to go to the final. Now Madrid needed 2 just to equalize. But as stoppage time arrived, the substitution kicked in.
Camavinga searching for Benzema, who hooks it in, the goal one back! It's Rodrigo!
Rodrigo pulled 1 back, but they still needed 1 more. Then suddenly...
Carvajal. Score!
Rodrigo saved Madrid, so Benzema stepped up to complete the comeback. Absolute madness. But if that was unbelievable, 2 years later, the exact script repeated itself. In 2024, Madrid faced Bayern Munich, but after a draw in Germany, Bayern scored in Spain, putting one foot in the final. Then in the 81st minute, with just 10 minutes to go, Ancelotti took off Valverde to bring on Joselu. He was there on loan from Espanyol, having played just 18 minutes in the entire knockout stage. Many thought it was a bad decision by Ancelotti, but 7 minutes later,
Vinicius Junior, Mendy overlapping, that's comfortable. Oh, Neuer dropped it, and Joselu scores! Incredible!
he equalized it. But if that was already impressive, just 3 minutes later,
Him only half away, Nacho of all people. Rudiger! Real Madrid have turned it around! Joselu!
Joselu came off the bench to send Real Madrid to the final, something he probably never dreamed of doing. But if taking your club to the Champions League final is already impressive, in that same year another substitute would take his country to the UEFA Euro final. At the Euros 2024, the semi-final featured England versus the Netherlands, both dreaming for a spot in the final. It was a high-stakes battle, with the Netherlands scoring and England answering back. The match stayed tight. As time passed with neither side able to break the deadlock, in the 81st minute, Southgate made a bold substitution. He took off Harry Kane to bring on a less experienced player, Ali Watkins. Imagine this, needing a goal, he took off the all-time top scorer of the national team for a guy who had only played 20 minutes in the group stage. It seemed a crazy decision, until 9 minutes later.
One left it in here. Here's Watkins, right at the end, trying to turn it for him! And Ali Watkins has, in the final minute of the semi-final!
The substitution that seemed insane sent England to the UEFA Euro final. That was crazy. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're gonna like this one too. So thanks for watching and bye.